Hello, everybody. So, today we're going to be talking about the effects of using chlorine and bromine to sanitize pools in regards to sustainability and stewardship. Throughout the presentation, we'll be touching on what the chemicals are, why they're not the best choice, the connection to sustainability and stewardship, and the ways that this problem can be improved on or fixed. Chlorine and bromine are the most commonly used pool chemicals because they are highly efficient when it comes to sanitizing. Both chlorine and bromine are group 17 elements, and if you remember back to grade 9, these are halogens. You may also recall that halogens are extremely reactive, so they rarely exist on their own, and that they are poisonous in large amounts. Because of this, they are formed with alkali metals to create a compound. Examples of this can be sodium hypochlorite or potassium bromide. Chlorine and bromine work differently. Chlorine goes through a process called oxidation. Basically, in the chemical reaction, chlorine steals the electrons from the pathogens and changes their molecular structure. The opposite is said for bromine, which goes through a process called ionization, which combines with the pathogens but forces the bacteria's bonds apart. That was a bit of how they work, however, they're also used in pools to prevent algae from growing. So, why are these pool chemicals bad? Well, there's a variety of reasons for this. During the summer, most people do not cover their pools at night, as well as many of these people are using these pool chemicals. So, what is happening is that when the energy or the heat hits the pool, it undergoes a chemical reaction, and 5 millimeters of water, on average, evaporates per pool each day. Now, this chemically treated pool water ends up in the atmosphere where it's contributing to the production of greenhouse gases. Also, 1 in every 5 pools has minor leaks, which leaches these pool chemicals into the earth below and then into the groundwater. 1 out of 20 pools has a major leak. These leaching of chemicals is very bad for the environment, and if these chemicals do get into waterways, they are very harmful for fish or other organisms that live there, as well as if it hits land, it can cause erosion or damage vegetation. Another issue is that more often than not, these pools are actually incorrectly drained. If the proper treatment is not used and these do end up in the waterways, then marine life can ingest these chemicals, which are very highly toxic for them. And then, in a similar manner, repetitive exposure of chlorine or bromine is also very damaging to the different organ systems of animals and pets and can cause long term harm. Now, where this all ties into sustainability and stewardship is that these pool chemicals are very clearly not environmentally friendly. These chemicals, their toxicity, their reactivity, and the chemical reactions that go along with them is quite damaging to the ecosystem and all life on it. If sustainability and stewardship is about being responsible with our environment and making better choices that are eco friendly, then the chemical reactions and their implications that bromine and chlorine have when used in a pool needs to change or be altered to reduce the negative environmental impact and lead to a more positive future. So, after listening to what sustainability and stewardship means and listening about the impact of these pool chemicals, just in your head, do you think that they are a good demonstration of sustainability and stewardship? Some ways that we can improve to have an eco friendly approach for a more sustainable future consists of the following. Pool chemicals like chlorine or bromine can be replaced entirely with a natural filter such as moss filters. Another more sustainable option is to have a saltwater pool. However, although these options are better environmentally, they can be more difficult and timely to maintain. That being said, there are some prevention methods that can be used with chlorine or bromine to meet environmental stewardship. This includes using solar-powered pool skimmers. This will cover the pool, preventing evaporation of these pool chemicals into the atmosphere, as well as a renewable energy source. Another way you can go about it is using a shock treatment. Earlier in the presentation, I touched on not draining the water properly. This is what I meant. The usage of a shock treatment causes a chemical reaction which can neutralize the pool chemicals and lessen the toxicity to any animals or other organisms, as well as can bring the water to a proper pH, which is safer. Finding and sticking to a solution is clearly very important for the life of animals, our water systems, to maintain a clean atmosphere, and for the overall ecosystem. So let's all take proper care of our surroundings in any way we can to meet environmental stewardship and sustainability. Thank you for listening.